Today we are celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Larchmont Arts Festival, where our local artists come together to share their creativity with our community. Tell us about the history of the Arts Festival.
Yes, it started 10 years ago. We're celebrating our 10th birthday today, and it's really exciting. Karen Gertzberg and I, and me, Palmer Davis, were asked 10 years ago to come up with a way to celebrate the arts in Larchmont, to bring the arts to life here. And, Larchmont has a long tradition of creative people who have lived here, playwrights and movie stars and painters and sculptors, and for a long, long time, for many decades. So we kind of thought it was time to bring back that creative culture. So we came up with this idea to have an arts festival. And in the beginning, it was really hard to kind of find the artists and sort of find the audience. It took a while, but if you look around, you see we have over 80 exhibitors today. This thing has grown and grown and grown, and it's a beautiful thing for me to see. It's become, I feel like we're leaving a legacy here that sort of transformed this town and sort of bringing it back to that creative place. It's also a wonderful opportunity for the artists to have a platform to share what they do. We have a lot of emerging artists that don't necessarily have opportunities to exhibit. And then we also have really well-established professional artists that do exhibit and that are quite acclaimed. So basically what we have are fine art people, painters and people photographers and textile designers. And then we also have the craftspeople, ceramicists and jewelry makers and all kinds of things. So it's a really broad range of creative endeavors going on here. So it's really, really exciting. Our featured artist, Hilda Green-Dembski, is a really accomplished fine art painter. She paints oils, and she's really traveled the world on assignment, on projects, painting, everywhere from Ireland to the Caribbean, doing artist residency programs and things like that. So we're really proud to have her be our featured person. The other thing that's really important is the Knies Barnes Fine Art Award, which we started last year. The winner is chosen by Knies Barnes, who has a gallery here in town and is a very esteemed gallerist. She chooses the winner, and the prize is $500. This is our second year of doing it. And it's a real boost to the artist who wins to get that kind of, not only the financial reward, but the exposure and the reinforcement in what they're doing.
Why do you paint?
I've always loved to paint from when I was a child back in Pennsylvania. I loved it. I was like the class artist in school, and it was just a fun way to pick up coal or crayons and draw. So I've been an artist all my life. This particular painting is called Blossom Time, and I came here in the spring when the trees right here in Constitution Park were blossoming. And I just felt like I wanted to capture the beautiful colors of springtime. So I like the idea of painting outdoors because something very special happens when you're right there on site as opposed to working from a photo. And these other paintings that are here are also on site. These two paintings I did in St. Croix, the U.S. Virgin Islands. This is a former sugar plantation, and I loved all the vibrant colors that were there. I happened to be there because it was an award to paint there in St. Croix this past January, and I got to live in the Caribbean Museum of the Arts while I was there painting for them. This is called Palm Court. It's actually the courtyard to the museum where I stayed there. This is a painting I did in Maine. I was the artist in residence at Acadia National Park in Maine, and I love walking along the tide pools and the coast. And I painted this on aluminum. I left little pieces of aluminum unpainted so that when you walk by it or when the light hits it, you get the reflectiveness of the metal showing through the oil paint. And the name of this painting is Tide Pool on Aluminum.
What is your technique on painting?
Well, when I work outdoors, I take the canvas, I look at an area or something that speaks to me, something passionate that I respond to. I happen to love water. I like the tides. I get the feel that I'm attached to the whole planet because, the waves come in, the water goes out, and so on. So I just look until something strikes me that I want to paint, and then I go right to it. I try to work all over the canvas at one time, and sometimes I actually finish it in just one time there. I'll spend a couple of hours on it and then go back to the studio and finish up details or, finalize it a little bit. Now, I painted this one in Ireland on the coast of Kerry, and you see how the foam in the ocean goes out like that? Well, it's the first time I actually noticed that the form of the foam follows the shape of the cliffs. So where the cliffs go out, that's where the foam goes out. So the water just hits against the cliffs and then it bounces back, and that's how you get the foam in that particular shape. And this one that's on this is the painting that's on the poster for the Arts Festival. And I painted this in Ireland. I just love the fact that here we're seeing a lot of cool colors. You asked me about technique, and I actually put a nice warm sandy color underneath the whole canvas, and then the cool blues and greens I painted on top, leaving some of the warms show. It kind of sets up a nice vibration when you have cool colors on top of warm colors.
As an artist, what do you like to transmit to the community?
I'd like to give a feeling of serenity or peacefulness. I like the whole idea that we are living in a global atmosphere. We have to protect our waters and our environment, keep it clean and beautiful for the next generation. So I hope I give a feeling of peacefulness and serenity to the viewers.
Guns on their shoulders, not knowing what to do with this contradicting orders. The general said he would do his own duty, but he resisted no further to make them go as they please. But not a man moved. Their eyes gazed straight ahead, so one by one they stepped back, and not a word was said. O'Neill General was left with his own words echoing in his head. He then prepared to fight, he said. And I have seen the others, and I have discovered that this fight is not worth fighting. No. And I have seen their mothers, and I have no father. This fight. So take a shower and shine your shoes. You got no time to lose. You are young and you must be living. Yeah. Take a shower and shine your shoes. You got
Can you tell us how you make these?
Well, I woke up, well, I was trying to fall asleep one night and I just had this idea about using cards. So I decided what I would do is I have these mini cards, so I cut them in half and like put a needle through them and then so kind of zigzag across the card, so it was sort of like in a sort of, what do you call those? I don't know what those called. Those instruments that go like out. Accordion, like accordion style, right? And then I put beads inside, and then a wire, and kind of just have that idea. And they ended up looking pretty nice, so I'm happy with those.
Is this your first year being here?
Yes, this is my first year. I wasn't actually going to be here at all, but then a couple weeks ago, the owner of our cupcake shop told us that she wanted to have a booth here. So I decided, well, you know, I'll sell some jewelry as well. I might as well. So this is all of the past like couple weeks. I just decided to spend a lot of time making as much as I could.
Do you have any specific techniques of making them?
Well, I guess for the origami crane earrings, that I've been making cranes for a while, so I kind of have the technique of that down, but they're very small. So it takes very steady hands and just not getting frustrated with those, because if you get frustrated or if you push on them too hard, they'll deflate and you have to start all over. It's all about kind of like not forcing things to go, like with the wire, because they'll break very easily. They're like sterling silver wire, so they're thin and they're pliable, but they're easily broken. Let's see what else. These actually, the shell earrings, we found on a beach, and so then we drilled holes in them and covered them with some spray stuff to get them a little shiny. So these are actually from a Long Island beach, all of these, except for this. I think this one's from Florida. Actually, no, I think this one's from Long Island too. And this is made out of a sterling silver mold of something. And yeah, so that's basically what I've been doing. I'm just kind of coming up with new designs with the beads that we had. I didn't buy any new beads. We had these, so just a lot of fun. I love doing it. So.
How long have you been making these?
Let's see. I've been making crane earrings for probably maybe 10 years. I'm 21 now. So I've been making those for a while, but I'd never sold them. I would just give them away. My mom's friends always wanted a pair, and I give them to my bosses, to people I babysit for. They just love them. So I would give them away, and then everyone's like, you should sell these for like $15, $20. And I'm like, really? And then, I was like, I may as well give it a try, see how they sell. So yeah, give them a try.
It's all wool. It's knitted first. It's boiled and beaten up so that it shrinks into a really dense, very warm end product. And been making it knitting for a whole bunch of years, boiling it for probably the last 10. First time in this show. I've done shows all over the world, but first time here.
Special thanks to Kenise Barnes for her esteemed Fine Art Award, and she's giving for the second time a $500 prize, so that's going to be very exciting. We're going to announce that in a moment. Thank you to our musicians, Ruvuk, who are standing behind me doing a wonderful job, and also for Kevin McIntyre, who's going to be playing a little later. Thanks to the DPW crew for helping with setup, and thanks to David Salko for traffic control. And last but certainly not least, we'd like to thank all of you, our audience, for making our festival an annual Larchmont tradition that's 10 years old and counting. So thank you all, our appreciative audience. It's really your support and appreciation for the arts that is one of the things that makes Larchmont such a special place to live. Okay, so now we're going to hear from our mayor, our lovely mayor, Ann McAndrews.
Good afternoon, all. I'm not going to take much of your time because I know we are really enjoying this wonderful festival this afternoon that took 10 years of tremendous effort to develop. So I think we should really applaud Palmer Davis and his entire group, which he just mentioned, for a job well done. There was a committee on fine weather that kept us very worried for a while, but they came through in the end in the typical Larchmont way, at the last minute, but very well. So thank the gods and our wonderful DPW for maintaining this lovely, lovely park so that we can have it once again. I'd like to acknowledge not only the committee that was mentioned, but 10 years of committees that made this what it is today. And also like to acknowledge the tremendous volunteer effort that goes into an activity like this. This isn't something that you pay your taxes and this happens. This happens because its entire village is based upon volunteerism. And if each of you think that you have something to give, that's very, very important to this village in order that we all receive it. So please, please think of what you see here, think of the wonderful, wonderful village that we have, and understand that it's not automatic that this happens. This happens because we have a tremendous group of people who give their time and their effort and their smarts into making this the wonderful community that it is. In that light, I'd like to acknowledge a few of the people who are here. First of all, Trustee Bubba Finelli, who has been a tremendous advocate and worker towards this whole activity. Also, Trustee Marlene Colbert. We have a couple of people from the town here. We have Councilwoman Jane Eney, and we have Abby Katz. We also have our Justice, Ron Meitzer. We'd like to acknowledge him and thank him very much for being here today. We also have our State Assemblyman, George Latimer. So I think he deserves a great applause, a deal of applause. He happens to be everywhere at all times. We haven't quite figured that out, but we are learning every day from his incredible ability to be everywhere. You don't know it, but right now he's at the Mamaroneck Diner. So thank you very much, George, for appearing. We really appreciate all your efforts. I mentioned again, let me mention again, that this is the result of a great deal of effort and volunteerism, and also a great deal of effort on the part of all our local artisans who come here to help us make this a tremendous, tremendous afternoon and a tremendous day. So thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to all of you.
I'm introducing Kenise Barnes, who will be announcing the winner of the 2012 Kenise Barnes Fine Art Award, and it's a $500 prize, very substantial. So here she is.
This is the third year in a row that we've given this award. It is a merit award to an artist that I personally feel shows promise and has worked very hard and produced beautiful work, sometimes many years in a row, here at the Larchmont Arts Festival. Before I announce the winner, I do want to acknowledge, as everyone up here has already, the amazing amount of volunteerism and the spirit of this festival. It's the 10th year, and it keeps getting better and bigger, and the rain keeps holding off, so we're in good shape. And it's really lovely to see everybody turn out. There's a rich history of support for the arts in Larchmont, and I certainly toast the effort and the volunteerism and all of the committees that have put this together. So thank you to them, first of all. All right, so we do have a person that I would like to award a $500 check to from the gallery. And let me first say that there's an incredible amount of work here that everybody should really be making the rounds carefully and looking with, you know, a mind to collect young and emerging artists. It's all really affordable. There's some really beautiful work to start or to add to a collection. So without further ado, this year's winner is someone who's been here for, I think it's her third year exhibiting, and that is really an amazing effort of support for the town as well. And she grew up here, so also a wonderful hometown girl. So this award this year goes to Rachel Cohn. Rachel, where are you? Oh, here she comes. Something. You can pay your studio rent. That's perfect. Like, first, beautiful flowers and cabbages, and
Thank you so much, Kenise. I really appreciate it. I just moved into a new studio, and now I can pay my rent. So it goes. I just got a little bit of a bigger space, and it's my own. And thank you. it'll go, yeah. Making more work.
Congratulations.